Hello, my name is Sebastian Escorcio, and I am part of the game development program at Centennial College, and this is part 2 of my video on game balance and how classes or roles play into that. So in this video, we are going to go over in general how classes play into game balance on a general level, and then I want to go into some games and how they use the class system in interesting ways. If you haven't seen part 1 of my video, I recommend checking that out first before continuing on with this video, especially if you aren't familiar with gaming lingo. Hopefully whoever posts this video is smart enough to put my previous video in the description or something, but who knows, so good luck finding it. So on a rudimentary level, classes in games are just a way to categorize things players interact with. It ranges from game to game, but for the most part, I believe most video games use some sort of class system in designing anything the players interact with, even if it isn't laid out as a class system in the game itself. It can be from whatever character and cart you use in Mario Kart, or what weapon you use in Monster Hunter. Classes are everywhere in gaming, and I don't see them disappearing anytime soon.
Greatsword is a weapon that rewards you for very careful positioning. The way it works is you're going to have to charge up a heavy swing, and this swing is going to have a slow animation, and it's going to deal a ton of damage if it lands. But yes, you have to position yourself just right and not get interrupted. When you get more skilled with the Greatsword, you learn more technical moves like being able to shoulder charge into the monster's attack so that you don't get flinched. You also learn how to do things like guard the monster's attack at the appropriate time. I would say if you love using a giant sword that is very slow but deals high damage, choose the Greatsword. Next we have the longsword, and I would describe the longsword as a counterattack weapon. One of its main moves, it rewards you if you predict that the monster is going to attack, and what you'll do is when you activate that move, you'll be able to dodge through the monster's attack and then punish the monster, and all of that is just built into one of its moves. So this is really a weapon where if you're good at counterattacking rather than rolling away from the monster, you're really going to enjoy it.
For me personally, when designing a game, I like to take the class approach as much as possible. I find that it helps me stay modular, so if I want to add things to the game later, I always have somewhere to start. I can choose to make a range or melee fighter, or maybe a tank or healer. It all is just a good starting point on the development end. Then to make the characters feel different, you can try to add a secondary archetype, like Glass Cannon or Mighty Glacier, like we discussed last time. Okay, so it makes sense for the developers to want to use classes, but how does it help with game balance? I believe for game balance, as a developer, you just need to keep all the roles doing what their job is. Let's look at rock, paper, scissors. How long do you think you will be able to play the game for until you get bored? Probably just a few minutes. But imagine now that it isn't just rock, paper, scissors. Instead, we have lots of different moving pieces. So now, you have a few classes that are all working together to make a balanced game. We've got Pokemon. Certain Pokemon types are better and worse against each other. It really is just one big game of rock, paper, scissors if you think about it.
The only thing that can do damage to it now. And if Camerupt has Earthquake, we're just screwed. Or Magnitude. It used Focus Energy. That's good. Camerupt is the biggest threat at this point. Magnitude 8. That's good. That's strong. Ooh, a one-shot. Okay. Yes. All right, easy battle. Easy battle. Golbat, no problem. It's just gonna bite me. Does quite a lot, but no problem. No problem. Ooh, look at that damage. Mr. Supersonic, hit another rock throw. Thank you. Oh, potion. Okay. Oh, miss. Come on, man. But I can always heal, and I... Yeah, I'll heal. Also, come on, man. Okay, we're just gonna switch. Does he not know wing attack? All we need is one more.
This is just one way of looking at it too. I would say this is the most similar to Overwatch, but I think other games are able to do it even better. I am a huge Destiny fan, and I believe the way they handle their classes is one of the best in gaming. They have 3 different classes to pick from, and all 3 have access to almost the same kit, but they all use it in their own unique way. The 3 classes are Hunter, Titan, and Warlock, which is essentially just a riff off of the classic Rogue, Fighter, and Wizard cliche. So the 3 classes use the same abilities in their own unique ways that resemble the classic Rogue, Fighter, or Wizard that they resemble. Let's just look at the Void subclass. Here's an example of the Hunter. They're the most proficient with invisibility compared to the other classes.
Don't be lost. Your enemy is pushing for victory. Punish them.
Here's an example of the Titan. They are most proficient with the overshield than the other classes.
Juggernaut Titan, baby. Holy cow, we got the overshields, we got the stand-asides on. I'm just gonna straight line and see what happens. Well, that's about what I expected to happen, to be honest.
Here's an example of the Warlock. They're the most proficient with the Devour buff. The reason why I think this is so good is because it allows players to really feel the fantasy of being whatever class they choose. The way they balance the game is just by balancing the main abilities that all classes use instead of having a ton of different abilities that are exclusive for each class. This is similar to the Valorant approach compared to the Overwatch that we mentioned in the last video. The last way we will look at is the most traditional way to use classes in games. It is the way most RPGs use classes. Though every class is different and has their own unique attacks and abilities, think about how all the different party members act when you play a game like Dragon Quest. Some deal more damage, others take more, and some are able to heal others. The part that is good about this type of class system is that it's more of a tool-based system, meaning the player has a set amount of tools in their toolkit and they can use whatever is at their disposal. The way this plays into game balance is pretty simple. Make sure every class that is good at something also has a downfall. Obviously, it is more complicated than that, and there are exceptions, but that is a pretty basic rundown. Overall, I think classes are a really fun and engaging way to play and create games. I hope this short video series helped you understand the importance of classes in games. Later.